In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming pattern. There is plenty of storms moving across the nation that we need to speak of today. Also, on the model guidance, we finally have an idea of when we're going to see another big warm-up, or maybe even in this case, heat wave for the eastern United States. Also, in turn, that means a bigger cool down out west. We're going to be talking about all of those things later on. I do have an exciting announcement to tell you guys about today. We have released a brand new update to trilogymaps.com, releasing our regional maps. In total, 9 total regions. I'm going to have a link in the description and pinned comment down below for those. Keep in mind, we also have a 50% off store-wide deal going on right now for the spring sale. And if you use my code DIRECT, you can also get another 33% off on top of that. So it's absolutely crazy the deals going on over there right now. So you're going to want to check that out today before all of those sales end. Let's keep going though with the pattern, and as you can see, by the time we're reaching tomorrow afternoon, because I'm uploading this video very late. But let's go ahead and move on with the pattern. We're taking a look at tomorrow actually, because I'm uploading this video very late. It's already almost 5 p.m. by the time I'm recording this right now, and that is because I've been rushing to get this update out for the trilogymaps.com website. Again, I've been working on this for a month. I've set today as the goal for the release of that new update. I haven't even told anybody about it. And I've been really dead set on releasing it today. So that's why the video is out so late. But we do see that there is some showers across a lot of your northern Rockies and northern plains happening. Also some thunderstorm activity and showers down here for the deeper south and the southeast. We do have just in general more summer-like weather happening. Now by the time we reach around Thursday, the 18th here, we could see a little bit more of a more organized line of showers and thunderstorms, and in general, a big storm happening here. We still have this same amount of moisture and thunderstorms happening down here for the deeper south and southeast. As we move this on towards Friday, we see things really coming together as we have our coastal storm moving up the coast, our next line of thunderstorms moving towards the east, and all of this is looking to potentially interact with itself. So how that's going to play out is a big question mark at this point. We are drawing nearer to this occurring, but still a lot of time to go, and I am very curious about this, and this is going to be a big focus point actually as we move through the upcoming pattern together. So if you tune in with us daily, this is going to be a big time talking point moving forward, because I think that this has a really good chance to bring some major impacts, especially flooding along the coast, potential severe weather along this cold front that we can clearly make out right there. So again, severe weather here along this line, flooding near that low, and this is in general going to lead towards many different impacts, especially when we see this interaction occur. We see a more amplified kind of just elevation of all of this precipitation taking aim at the northeast. We still have a very major cold front and potential severe weather event taking place along the southeast as this moves in. That is now apparently more of a threat than we've seen over the past few days, because of the fact that this low moves up much quicker and this cold front stalls out. So this is able to be its own kind of feature here. We have warmer, drier air out ahead of it, and that is going to amplify the chance of thunderstorms with this line, if that is in fact what we see from this one. So we'll be watching for that. Sunday as well, we do see some isolated and scattered thunderstorms throughout the southeast afterwards. Clearly a big ridge out west and a large trough in the east here, as some Arctic air is looking to take aim at the east, moving straight up from your Arctic regions up here, as you can see. And then we see a lot of this more elevated look out west, where this warm air is just moving straight northward. By the time we're reaching Monday the 22nd, what we see is a little bit more storminess wanting to dive down through the west. So this could put a big time anchor in that pattern and try to flip it upside down. By the time we're reaching Tuesday, the 23rd, there is a couple of features here, a couple of areas we see some showers here across the upper Midwest and portions of Canada, portions of the Southeast here, portions of the West, but overall nothing major happening. It's just multiple areas of more less intense weather happening. So if that makes sense. Wednesday, the 24th here, we could see a little bit of cooler, more stormy air moving into the very western United States, but we're still dealing with a ridge here across a lot of the central and a bit of a trough there in the east. Again, in general, looking a little bit more summer-like with this widespread, isolated, and scattered activity happening in the east. By the time we're reaching June, July, August, this is a daily occurrence, as you guys know. By the time we reach Thursday here, this is going to be the 25th, we do see more intense storm systems moving in towards the northwest, which usually flips this pattern, especially over the last year. We've seen this a lot where a storm will move down, cause a trough here in the west, and that in turn will mean warm and ridging here in the east overall. So we're going to have to watch and see if that's the catalyst around the 25th, which, I mean, if you've tuned in with us daily, that has been the time frame that I've really been watching, right around the 25th for a big flip. So fingers crossed that that stays accurate, because that seemed to be a kind of a date to watch, as you've seen on the channel. Now, as we move into the total precipitation, you can tell that this looks a little bit less elevated than what we've been dealing with. Actually, for the northwest, though, we've seen a big uptick in the amount of precipitation we're seeing. The south central in general has stayed flatlined, so about the same. And for most of the east here, we're seeing a downtrend in the activity, except for the very far southern areas. But it does look a little bit less widespread there with that majority of activity. And if we were to try to look at the overall big picture here, you would notice that probably we're seeing a trend towards more storms out west and less storms in the east. And this is oftentimes associated with cooler times in the west, warmer times in the east. So when we take all of these things and kind of put it together, it makes it a little bit more clear the expectations moving forward. So we're putting the pieces together here. This has been a big day overall for me. And I think this is a big day for the channel here, as we're really getting a good idea. And what has been a very confusing pattern and a lot of unknown moving forward, I feel like we're getting a lot of things revealed to us today, which is always exciting. The total snowfall here looks similar to yesterday. I see a little bit more here in the northwest, but everywhere else is still continuing to decrease, as is expected. This time of year, we usually expect to see things really slow down, of course, and we are continuing to see that on par with what expectations would tell us to expect. Now, as we move in towards those temperatures, we can see right now huge warm up here for the west, and this is in general a positive PNA. So we have an upward arrow, and then we made it into a positive, so that's a positive PNA. We can see that this encourages cooler, not necessarily freezing, but cooler temperatures to head into the east. This is an Arctic blast right here that has come from the Arctic regions, and that is in a hurry moving south. And we can see that that is going to infiltrate the northeast, especially here in the Ohio Valley, by the time we're reaching just about Thursday. So as we're reaching mid to late week, we see this really playing a big part in the whole thing. The most consistently above average area is going to continue to be this west coast of Canada and the United States. As we just keep going with this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I mean, we're still seeing the cooler conditions. Here comes Arctic blast number 2. So you see, I mean, anything north of here is nearly the Arctic, but it has come from way further north than that. If we were to take a quick look here at North America, we can really see where this comes from. But we see that this is coming from northern Alaska. We have this cooler air mass. We're just totally going to see it move towards the eastern United States. So when people ask, why are you calling it an Arctic blast? It's only, you know, it's not going to be 20 degrees or anything. This is what I mean. It's actually coming from the Arctic. So we'll watch it move down again. Something like this is what we're going to see all the way from northern Alaska. We watch this blast down. Look at it. And it actually gets more and more intense as time moves on, until it moves into the northeast there. So it moves all the way from northern Alaska into the northeast. So just a little bit of education there. Whenever you see somebody saying, oh, this isn't an Arctic blast, you know, yada, 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 they have their own definition of what that should mean. But honestly, the most logical definition for Arctic blast is Arctic and then blast. Coming from the Arctic, blasting to the United States. I mean, that is the most logical way to use the term, in my opinion. Now, interestingly enough, again, the 25th being the time that we're watching here, we start to see some blues here for the West Coast, which has not been the case at any point before this. So from the 16th to the 25th, this is the first time we're seeing blues here for the West Coast, at least any sort of significant blues. And it actually just continues to spread and become a little bit more of a factor, to the point where probably half the West Coast, if not more, here of the United States is blue. And look at this, at the same time we're seeing a lot of this warmth spread towards the northeast, where we're near normal to above normal by this point, the 30th. And we can see that this trough is actually climbing up towards Oregon and Washington now. So I want to say this is a negative PNA already. really taking place, and we can tell that there's warm temperatures prevailing for most of the eastern United States and none of the western United States by this point. So this has been a big revealing video for the upcoming pattern. I hope it's been as exciting for you guys as it has been for me. I know it probably hasn't, just since I love the weather so much, but maybe there is some of you out there that find this type of stuff exciting as well. I hope so, because that's how I started out as well. Anyway, be sure to check out the link towards those trilogy maps regions. I really hope you guys check those out. Again, been working really hard on those for a month plus now. So you guys can check those out today. Use the 50% discount. That one's automatic, so you don't have to do anything. But if you put in the code DIRECT, you, again, also get the 33% off on top of that. Be sure to subscribe for daily uploads, as we do upload every single day, and we're going to continue to track this pattern. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications so you never miss an upload, because those will let you know. Also, be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.